Hi everybody, it's Monday of the week before finals. I'm here in my office. I have a ton of work to do. I'm really behind because I spent most of last week up north with my dad when he was in the hospital. So this week I've really got to get caught up. And if you're in a similar position, I'm going to give you a tip, give you a peek into what I do in order to grind through a lot of work in a short period of time. So I'm here at my desk. I've got my coffee just made. I have to pour it in my cup. I've got my fan going because it's kind of warm in here. But I've got a list of things I have to accomplish this week. Now, I don't have to get it all done today, but I do have to get it done in the very near future. So in such a situation, I employ a technique called productivity sprints where I take 20 minutes to just grind on one task and get as much as I can get done. The point is to play beat the clock. After that 20 minutes, I can take a 10-minute break. So I can use the restroom, I can get something to eat, I can take a walk around, I can do some other fun little task that distracts my mind. But then on the next half hour, I have to get back to the next task on my list or finishing up that previous task if I didn't get it done in the first 20-minute sprint. So this is not an ideal way to work. Ideally, we would parcel out our work over a long period of time and really space it out. And I have some issues with the idea of productivity as being producing a lot of work. Okay, I think there are a lot of other ways to be productive. But in moments like this, when productivity does mean producing work, I find this productivity sprint technique to be really useful. So I'm going to share it with you today. Sprint 1 is done. I spent 20 minutes clearing emails. Just got the most urgent ones out of the way. I get 40 to 50 emails a day, and I try to keep up with them as they come in. But of course, it's just past the weekend, so there were quite a few that needed taking care of. There are still more, but I will work on those in a future sprint. I can't spend a solid hour on just emails. So my plans for my next sprint are to finish up some paperwork for a grad student of mine. I'm advising a grad student who just had her oral exam defense the other day, and she passed, but I have to submit some paperwork in order to notify the graduate college that she passed and to get her graduation process underway. That's very important to her. It's very important to me. And once that task is completed, it will be off my plate completely. So that's my plan for my next sprint. Sprint 2 is complete. I filled out and submitted the paperwork for my student, so her path to graduation will be underway now. And for my next sprint, Sprint 3, I am going to finish prepping the final exam for Comp 1700 next week. I completed Sprint 3, I got the final exam for Comp 1700 already, and I also got the final exams for 4740 and 3350 done. So I accomplished more than I thought I would during that sprint. And this is a good reminder for me that we're not always the best judge of time of how long something will take. So sometimes it does take more than one sprint to complete a task. Other times we can fit in more than we anticipated, which is always a nice bonus. Now in my next sprint, Sprint 4, I'm going to prep my 2 in-person classes for tomorrow. So those are all ready to go. During Sprint 4, I got my 2 in-person classes prepped for tomorrow, Tuesday, and also partially prepped for Thursday, which will be useful because I have almost a full day of meetings on Wednesday. So in my next sprint, Sprint 5, I'm going to start working on the grading backlog. Now there are 3 sections that I have grading to do in. So I'm going to start with the first of the 3. Go hard for about 20 minutes to half an hour and see how many papers or assignments I can get graded in that period of time. Then I'd like to move on to a different class in the next sprint so I can make sure I'm distributing my effort evenly. Let's see how well I do. Hello, I'm back. Sprint 5 has ended and I'm really excited. It lasted a lot more than 20 minutes because sometimes if I'm on a roll, I just want to keep going. And that's what I did. So that sprint lasted maybe 2.5 hours, but I got 48 items graded, which is a huge chunk of my backlog. So I have 175 items left to grade before finals week, so I have the coming 4, 5, 6 days to do those. And if I continue at the pace I'm going, I should be able to tackle that pretty well. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned something about productivity sprints. Whether you're a student or you work full-time or you're a homemaker, this kind of planning can really help if you find yourself behind and have to grind out a lot of work in a short period of time. Take care, everybody. Have a good week. Bye.